Maggie the cat is alive. I'm alive. Why? Are you afraid of the truth? Elizabeth Taylor made one terrible mistake in 1964. She trusted a journalist with her darkest secrets. For months they met in hotel rooms and on ships. She'd pour whiskey, light cigarettes and confess everything. She thought he was just helping write her memoir. She didn't know he was secretly recording every word. 50 years later those tapes surfaced. The woman everyone thought they knew had been living a double life. She even had a name for it, cellophane Elizabeth. The real story was much darker. Elizabeth Taylor was born on February 27, 1932, in London. From the start, her life seemed like a movie. Her parents were wealthy American art dealers. They lived in the fancy Hampstead Garden suburb and ran an art gallery on Bond Street. They knew famous artists and politicians, including Colonel Victor Cassette, who became her unofficial godfather. But life wasn't all glamour. By 1939, with war coming, U.S. Ambassador Joseph P. Kennedy told her father to get the family out. In April that year, Elizabeth, her mother, and her brother escaped on the SS Manhattan. Her father stayed behind to close the gallery and joined them later. They settled in Pasadena, then Beverly Hills. Soon they were part of Hollywood's social scene. Elizabeth was just 7 when this dramatic move changed her world forever. Even as a toddler, Elizabeth was in the spotlight. At age 3, she started dance lessons. She wasn't just good, she was remarkable. She even danced for Princess Elizabeth and Princess Margaret. Few children could imagine such an audience. Her parents' connections made it possible. Her mother had been an actress and their circle included British high society. By the time they moved to Los Angeles, people already knew of Elizabeth's talent. A friend suggested a Hollywood screen test, and no one objected. She had performed for princesses before she had even reached Hollywood. It was as if fame had always been waiting for her. At age 10, Elizabeth got her first movie role in There's One Born Every Minute in 1942. Universal Pictures signed her for 7 years, but after just one film they dropped her. They thought she looked too mature and wouldn't appeal to audiences. That decision turned out to be a huge mistake. Elizabeth's star power was clear to everyone else. MGM quickly picked her. Universal missed the chance to shape one of the biggest stars in history. Elizabeth went on to win 2 Oscars and captivate fans for over 60 years. Universal's loss became MGM's gain. MGM signed Elizabeth in 1943 and it changed Hollywood. When she was 12, she starred in National Velvet in 1944. She played a girl who disguised herself as a boy to ride in the Grand National. The film was a hit. Elizabeth almost won a special juvenile Oscar, finishing just behind Peggy and Garner. But the role came at a price. To play Velvet Brown, she had to follow a strict routine to grow taller. She also fell off her horse during filming, injuring her back badly. That injury stayed with her for life. Still, the producers gave her the horse as a gift. The movie made her a star. MGM gave her a new contract at $750 a week, a huge amount for a child in the 1940s. She was on her way to becoming a legend. When Elizabeth was 18, MGM arranged her first marriage. It was to Conrad Nicky Hilton Jr., the hotel heir. The studio wanted to keep her image clean and marketable. They even bought her wedding dress. But behind the scenes, the marriage was a disaster. Hilton drank heavily and was abusive. He once kicked Elizabeth so hard that she lost their baby. The marriage lasted only 8 months. She divorced him in January 1951 because of mental cruelty. This marriage shattered her innocence and showed how studios controlled their stars for profit. Leaving Hilton didn't bring peace. MGM was furious about the divorce. They wanted to protect their image, so they punished Elizabeth. They forced her into a cheap romantic comedy, Love is Better Than Ever, in 1952. It was beneath her talent. The film didn't help her career. The message was clear. Defy the studio and you'll pay. This was how studios treated their biggest stars, especially women. Image mattered more than safety or happiness. But in 1952, Ivanhoe changed things. Elizabeth didn't like her small role in the film, but it became a huge hit. In 39 days, it earned $1.3 million. In total, it made $5.8 million in the US and Canada and $5 million overseas. That added up to $11 million worldwide. It was MGM's top earner that year and a hit in England too. The film earned 3 Oscar nominations and 2 Golden Globe nods. Elizabeth's star power was now undeniable. Even when she disliked a role, audiences still flocked to see her. That same year, Elizabeth's personal life was changing again. She married British actor Michael Wilding and was expecting her first child, but money was tight. To stay secure, she signed a new 7-year contract with MGM. They paid her $4,700 a week, which would be over $55,000 a week today. The deal included a loan for a house and work for Wilding, but it also gave the studio even more control over her. Elizabeth wanted better roles, but she had to take what MGM gave her. She was trapped. The contract brought money and stability, but also deeper ties to a system that cared more about profit than the people it owned. Elizabeth Taylor's life in the late 1950s and early 1960s was like a storm no one saw coming. On May 12, 1956, she hosted a glamorous dinner at her home in Benedict Canyon. It was meant to be a lovely night, but everything changed in an instant. Her friend, Montgomery Cliff, left early, just a few hundred yards from her driveway. He crashed his car into a telephone pole. The crash was brutal. His face was shattered. His nose broke. His jaw fractured. Several teeth were knocked out. The news reached Taylor fast. Without a second